Hey scrappers, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be a pickup. We have a few exercise bikes to go and collect. I believe the man said that we have about 12 to pick up in all. They're the new Fandangle models, they're not the old models of the 90s and late 80s. These are the ones with the electromagnets in them, not the old strap around the front wheel that you can tighten and loosen to increase or decrease the resistance. So we'll go and grab those and we'll come back. Hopefully he'll allow us to video inside as we're collecting them, but if not, it'll just have to be the end product of what we've got that I'll show you all loaded up. So let's head out. So here we have the end result. Unfortunately we weren't allowed to video inside us loading them up, but as you can see here, they're a Wahoo brand of exercise bike, and apparently according to the gentleman we were speaking with, these retail for about 7 grand NZ. Now these ones here are all warranties, simply stated by the individual who services these. He says that people don't clean them, they don't look after them properly. And because these are an exercise bike, people sweat all over them, and the sweat gets into the nooks and crannies and causes all sorts of issues with the steel. He said in there, and the pedals, they all bind up and stuff like that. Same with the handles, because they have pulse sensors in them. The sweat gets in there and shorts all the sensors out. But as you can see in there, it looks quite promising. Hopefully that is actually all copper and not just aluminium. So we'll unload all of this stuff, get it all out, and I'll get one of these covers off to see what we've got inside. Hopefully it's a good return. So as you see here guys, I've managed to take the cover off the front here. There's a circuit board under here which I'll try and get to as well, but my main focus right now is to try and get this electromagnet off. And I've never done one of these before, so you have to bear with me, as I'm not sure how this is all going to come apart. So far it's been good. There hasn't been too many tricky screws or hard to reach screws. They've all been relatively easy to get at. Right, just cut that cable. Not really pertinent at this stage. Do the screw under there, yeah. Right, one more screw to get out. And you know, as I say, lots more plastic and none recyclable. So while we're here, I'll just chop all these cables off. Or will I? No, I might be able to save this, guys, on one of the other ones, but on this one I'll use as the demonstrator model. Because this is essentially a generator. If there are magnets inside here, you can use this as a generator just by rotating that. you should create voltage. But this, as I said, will be the demonstrator. So hopefully we have copper underneath this varnish. Hopefully it's not aluminium, otherwise it'll be a waste of time. So as you can see there, we have copper. So apart from one of them, or two of them in this case, one will be kept as a mess around for me in the future. The rest of them, the other 10, will be taken apart and stripped down and made into ingots. So there you go. So that's copper, that's great to know. And now what we'll do is we'll just see what's behind all of this fan and stuff, to see if the circuit board's any good. So here we have, guys, the circuit board. I had to break down a bit more of the bike to get the circuit board out. I had to break off one of the mounting brackets to get it out because it was getting caught on the frame. So we've got a bit of wiring here, a couple of MOSFETs, an IC, some tantalum capacitors, some gold flashing where the screws secure the board to the plastic frame, an inductor, a couple of terminals, and that's pretty much it. And a nice bit of, I think that's aluminium. Yes, and a nice piece of aluminium. So what I'll do now is I'll just take you off the stand, and I'll go show you what we've got to play with out there in the van. So I've got all these bikes here. They're all in boxes. There's 4 boxes here. There are 4 boxes here, guys, of those bikes. So we'll get into that as well. Got to store those in the garage. And then down in here, in the back of the van, is the rest of all the bikes that the guy started to take apart to make it more movable for us. And over on the other side, up in there is all the handlebars. And as you can see here, because people don't clean it properly and wipe it down when they're finished, and body fluid gets all over it, it rusts out, and the sweat gets in underneath all that and rusts out and shorts out the circuits. And yeah, and apparently these bikes were warranties. So I hope that was a bit of fun for you guys. Thank you all for joining us. Look after yourselves, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheers!